22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway from Atlanta. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Now Hall to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Working down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards. Back to throw now on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's the 2nd and 7. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
And he comes back with one complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he's across the 40. 3 extra yards to the 43. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
When you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. The Seahawks at 9-6 now. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They certainly thought he had open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, And now it brings up fourth down.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons' offense at the line. Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
On first down, right back to Hall. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They're going to look to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Looking to throw. This complete to David Bell. And he's going to have a Falcons first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up. Back now in Atlanta's second quarter action. The Falcons with the football. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll give to Hall. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2nd and 4. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they'll get this down to the 10. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll set up to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Courtland Sutton from 10 yards out. And the Falcons go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And Courtland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field ready for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering.
And it's a fumble. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On second down, they'll run it here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. They snap it to Herbert. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Christian Watson, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score. The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Got a man open, it's Sutton. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. 2nd and long. Flushed out right. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And his kick here is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the...
He's got a man complete. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. 73 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll try to run this one in. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Falcons going to get one more drive here in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darren Stingley picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this defense, Charles, we know how good they are, but they've been beat a couple of times in this game. However, they got the latest laugh.
And how about the way they hung in there? Because you're exactly right. They're not used to being dented as they've been so far in this game. But what they just did there with that pick six, that's the equivalent of what was happening to them. They're throwing touchdown passes against them. Okay, we'll take one back against you.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And some space here. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Hands it off out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Out of the gun, Herbert. And the ball is knocked out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Right back to him on 1st down. 92 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Herbert now able to connect with Mims. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you come around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
On 4th down, Herbert, touchdown! Christian Watson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the 2nd half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get it. Back now in Atlanta. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw here. Got a man, that's Ward. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you?
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. So that time, Charles, a quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's looking deep for Bell, and that is incomplete. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks will get the football back in outstanding field position. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They can thank their defense for another stop, and now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock, work it down, and, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you can pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 19-yard line. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get an ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And maybe measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. So no gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
Finding Sutton on the move past the 40. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Tries the right side, and he finds Bell. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 109 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Here we go on fourth. Herbert. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. Oh, what a move. And the Falcons are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Well, this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. One last shot at the end zone. And, oh, that one going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Caleb Farley. So the victory here for Seattle. It was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something about Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the. Ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gonna give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans. Yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. If it coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. If this music don't work out, I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't try to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shopping. Can't trust them cause they know my. Cause we worry about getting figures. All my ain't father figures, just know my. Quick to pop it.
Damn, it's the intro?